Awakening is a fundamental shift in who you take yourself to be and your relationship to the world around you. It is an experience or an event that even goes beyond experiences. It goes beyond time. It goes beyond your own mind. It goes beyond who you think you are. It is something that is both impersonal and extremely personal. It is a deeply paradoxical event. And if you're not accustomed to paradoxes, or you haven't yet incorporated the existence of paradoxes into your mind and into your worldview, awakening is going to be something that's probably frustrating even to listen to or to hear about, because your mind will have nothing that it can grasp onto. You can have glimpses or temporary awakening experiences. So maybe you're in deep meditation, maybe you take psychedelics, maybe you're watching a sunset and suddenly everything goes quiet and you get it. You can have all these different ways or glimpses or ways of getting into the experience, but you can also have a permanent shift. So this is a shift that stays with you no matter the circumstances. You're always aware of that thing, the thing that you glimpsed, and is always with you, and there's no going back. And there's deepening and deepening levels of awakening. And this is quite controversial. If you've heard anything about awakening, there's a bunch of people that fall into two different camps. People who are working towards awakening and believe there's a path and are more on the side of effort. And then there's a camp that says there's nothing to do, everything's one, there's no levels of awakening, everything is just as it is, and it's always been that way. So there's these two different extremes that people tend to fall into. And both are extremes. Just like with many things in life, there is a middle way where there is truth to the fact that there aren't levels of awakening. There's just one thing, and that's just unfiltered reality. And then there's also truth to the fact that there is a deepening realization and there's things to do. So this is why I mentioned awakening is very paradoxical. There's going to be a lot of different paradoxes in this. For example, thinking of awakening as a moment or an event that happens in time. You can for sure chart out a specific moment for most people when they realize this thing. But awakening itself also exists outside of time. So there is a specific moment, but it's also got nothing to do with time. It's all very, very difficult for the mind to comprehend. And this is where, if you're trying to understand awakening, you need to be radically open-minded to the point where you actually stop relying on your mind to make sense of these various different concepts. You stop trying to understand it in the same way you tried understanding maths or English when you were in school. You let understanding happen to you rather than trying to create it. It's quite difficult, and it isn't intuitive if you've just been focused on doing your whole life. Let's also talk about why is awakening even important, why you should awaken, or should is a weird word here, but what are the benefits to awakening? To be honest, the benefits are quite hard to sell. There's no real benefit to you as an individual. If anything, you're going to lose everything. If anything, it's a suicide mission. Going down the path of awakening means dismantling your ego, dismantling and letting go of everything you take yourself to be, and being open to a radically new way of living. And this isn't for everyone. You're not going to get any practical productivity benefits. You're not going to suddenly make more money or find your ideal partner, get any of these practical, tangible benefits from awakening. There's no ROI or return on investment with awakening. It is a almost curiosity driven pursuit. If this is interesting to you, you will find it interesting and you won't be able to help yourself. You'll try to push it away, but you'll keep coming back to this question of who am I? And you'll eventually run into awakening, and you'll probably develop a meditation practice or something along those lines to get to the answer, who am I? But again, you're probably still wondering, okay, but like, sure, there must be something in it for you, or else you wouldn't do it. Like, why would people do it if there isn't something in it for them? And the answer to that question is yes. So the thing that's in it for you, not the you that you identify with, not the you that you think up in your imagination, your thoughts, the thing that's in it for you is peace. That is pretty much the driving motivation, a desire for peace and a desire for self-knowing. Because once you know yourself, you are at peace. I would also suggest reading Awake, It's Your Turn by this guy called Angelo. You might have seen him on YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel called Simply Always Awake. And I think this is basically just the best book on awakening. It covers everything in much more detail than I have. And this guy is someone who is liberated, so has gone through the final stages of awakening and doesn't suffer anymore. And that's basically the cookie at the end that is promised of awakening and liberation, the freedom from suffering, peace of mind. And so, yeah, if this sounds interesting to you, there's no doubt that you're going to go ahead and look into it, because you'll know if this resonates. You'll know if it doesn't. If you watch to this point of the video, it probably does resonate. So if you haven't looked into awakening just yet, highly recommend this book. It will clear everything up. It's written in a really nice way, super easy to read, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. That's everything. If you enjoyed, I'm glad. If you need help creating a spiritually fulfilling work life or business life, or you want to join a community of like-minded people, check out the links down below. And for now, peace and love.